Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Aaron's Book Club. I have another book review to do today. The review I have to do is Sanctuary by Mercedes Lackey. This is the book 3 of the Jouster series. First and foremost, I'm going to lead this off with saying that nothing is going to be spoiler free. So if you do want to read the book, come back to me after you've read it. I read the first 2 books on the Joust series a long time ago, long enough that I forgot most of the characters. That kind of was the problem. As I started reading into the book, it was assumed, of course, that you remembered the other 2 books and were able to follow along right away, which that's my bad. That's not the author's bad. But it made for a bit of a slow start, especially since we were building up the motivation and the character values of the characters for most of the book. About the halfway point, though, it got really interesting. Lackey can write a very good battle scene. Lackey can write a very good emotional scene. It was even, I'm not going to say easy to follow, but easier than normal to follow characters that are raised in an environment that is completely foreign to me. Like, these are desert characters. So that kind of environment, usually if I'm reading a book, will kind of jar me. Because I don't read a lot of folks outside of my, climate. But she does such a good job in bringing you along that you don't really even notice it. I'm going to say the one gripe, and maybe not even a gripe because it ended up being okay, but the one gripe that I had was when the female love interest was captured by the enemy and the battle scene was visualized by another one of her wing, visualizing her and the dragon going down, and the dragon she was riding being speared from somebody at the ground and being injured, to the point where you were believing that dragon was dead. I mourned the death of that dragon because we had spent the other 2 books following that particular dragon along, as well as the main character's dragon. Because that one had already lost a human, and now you're going to kill off that dragon. So I was very angry at first when I found out near the climax at the end of the book where there was a fight scene and it looked very much like the female love interest was going to die. All of a sudden, this dragon is flying through the air and saving her rider, which was written really well. And believable in that way, but the dragon was healed because of the healers, and then they needed to use the dragon to save the rest of the people of the town, so all of a sudden the healers had the magic to make that dragon like 100 hit points again, and off they go. Which, okay, I understand why that was written that way, and I understand why you needed that dragon to be the way it was, but it kind of cheapens the mourning of the death earlier to be like, psych, dragon really isn't dead. Oh, and by the way, all those awful injuries that you thought the dragon had are healed now. Everything's fine. No ramifications. Everything's great. Kind of a little cheap. But again, it was written into the plot so well that you can kind of bypass it. But it's cheap for Lackey because I've read others of her, and she's usually pretty good at killing off or deciding to kill off something and keeping it dead. But again, it's book 3 and there's more books in the series, so maybe she didn't want this person to lose the dragon right away. I don't know, but that was my one downfall. Other than that, thoroughly enjoyed the book. The last, 100 pages I read through in a couple days, to the point where there was a few times where I was threatening being late going back after my lunch into work because it was just in a good spot. So it was nice to read a book that was that captivating, but at the same time, it was very rushed in the end. So I'm eager to start the next one, and I guess I'll let you know when I have another book read. Thanks, guys.